Welcome back to PWC, the Personal Watercraft Show. Time for our rider profile, and as we mentioned, we catch up with the father of freestyle, Eric Malone.
My name's Eric Malone. I live in Altoona, Pennsylvania, which is outside of Philly and Pittsburgh, kind of central Pennsylvania in the United States of America. I ride all over the place. I mean, we're not necessarily close to the ocean, so I do a lot of flat water, and then we'll go down to Daytona, and the West Coast is always the best place. So I ride a stand-up jet ski or an EME Q8, which is our version of our stand-up watercraft. So it's made more for free ride and freestyle. The model is Eric Malone Enterprise, which is my company, and we've been developing jet skis for 5 years now, since we've been kind of more of a privateer and wanted to escalate the level of riding a lot. So we had to kind of produce our own lightweight hauls and stuff. I'd say biggest career highlight that always sticks in your head is like that first World Championship you win. The World Championships basically in the past and today really kind of evolve around flat water freestyle, which is the World Championships are held in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. So in '97, I won my first pro World Championship as a second-year pro. I was 19 years old, and that was kind of an upset at the time. So every time you win something as prestigious as a World Championship, you know, it's just like the same feeling every time, you know. So I've won 7 pro World Championships and about 14 national championships in the freestyle division, and a couple of free ride national championships in the surf. So I got a lot under my belt, man, and I actually haven't ridden in competition since 2004 in the surf, so to speak. So it's been a challenge today and a lot of fun. I came to Australia because I've never been here. I wanted to come last year, but I had some injuries, and the timing was right. We had a couple months to get prepared for the event. Got to train a little bit, and I was healthy, so shipped some skis over, and I was able to debut here. And the surf's unbelievable here. In the States, the jet skiing is pretty popular back in the 80s, and I always would watch it on ESPN. The way they had it debuted on TV was just, it is as if though there was red carpet that was out in front of you, and just the ambiance of the people and the beaches. It's just a beautiful family sport. So I wrestled for 8 years, so it's more of an individual sport, so I was attracted to that, where you didn't have to rely on people for certain things in order to accomplish the win that day. So that was probably my biggest thing, and I grew up on the lakes, so it just excelled. I started when I was about 12. What isn't there to love about the sport of jet skiing? You know, I mean, you got sun, you got sand, you got girls, you got good people in the sport, you know, and it's part of the nature of our earth, you know. So you're just out there and you're living, breathing the air. Developing tricks, it's an art, basically. Once you start learning how to work through tricks in your head and then actually applying them in the water without tons of practice, and I think it takes time, you know, to build that type of ability, but once you can build that up, it becomes such a game for you, you know, to try and say, I think I could do a flat water backflip, for example, which I did the first time in 2004 at World Finals. And I practiced for 3 months and never even knew if I could do it or not. And you don't ever really think, is it possible or not? You just keep beating yourself up to learn the trick. I think it's just an accomplishment. It's kind of a natural high. And to be able to debut it in front of thousands and thousands of people. And it's good to give back to sport, because you can give back to, people have goals then to look forward to, you know, when you're pioneering the sport. So you have people that follow up and they learn it too, you know, and they'll learn it 10 times faster than you, because they can just slow the videotape down and fast forward or rewind it. I think just giving it to sport and seeing other people do it in their arsenal of tricks during the day. Finding the inspiration to keep going in the sport, or, you know, everybody's goal is obviously to win that world championship. And once you win that, it's like, how do you keep winning and winning and winning? Because the first championship you win it for yourself, or the goal is reached that you've been trying for 10 years, and you got to find new goals is obvious. As well as, you know, seeing the guys that you looked up to as a kid, you know, you watch them fight through battles and injuries, and you want to kind of feel that feeling that they get when they work through something and then come out on top, you know, and it's nice to be in that small percentage, you know. Physically, being the tough sport, it's extremely brutal. I mean, like, it just wears on you. Like in the ocean and flat water, you know, they're two separate identities, so to speak. In ocean, you have these grueling jumps that when you come down, your spine just bends, and you want to, forces you to touch your toes whether you can or not. And you don't have the landing ramps, so you jump 30, 40 feet in the air, and it's water, but if you flat land, you know, your tib and fib could potentially go through the front of your legs. So, and it's happened before. And you have to pace yourself, you gotta be smart, and you gotta make smart decisions, because it's pretty shallow out there too, because wherever there's waves are breaking, there's always sand. You can overtrain easily in flat water. It's a whole different thing. The equipment's more important in flat water, but you gotta be in more of a strength physical shape in flat water to throw that thing around without the ability to use waves. So it's not as much as a free ride type thing. As a pro rider, you know, your daily schedule would be what most people would think the best thing in the world, which I tell you, it definitely has its pluses as far as not going to a 9-to-5 job. But the biggest key is you gotta be so self-disciplined to get up and train. You don't have anybody telling you when to train. You basically got these contracts on the line, sealed the deals, and then you're left alone for a number of 3 to 5 months to train. So now you're on your own, you're down in Florida, or you're at that place where it's warm and you're training, renting the house. And you got to work through a lot of things, you know, and you got those people on the other end of the phone helping you or guiding you or talking to you just to keep you going. So it's a lot of weightlifting. I mean, it varies depending on how you train, but I mean, I would do, you know, 3 hours in the gym, take a nap, eat every 3 hours, a lot of stretching. Go back in the water again in the afternoon, and then maybe take a nap and then go in the evening. Get a little flat water during the day and then a nice surf session in the evening. You know, this is like the perfect day. I spend most of my training down in Florida. Where I live in Pennsylvania, it's winter between November, December, January. I'll take 3 to 4 months off, relax and heal up, just give everything a break, and then I'll go down to Florida for 4 months prior to the national circuit or whatever the circuits are we're gonna follow, and train for 3 to 4 months down there, and then go on circuit for the summer. Guys that are out there today, I mean, 90% of them are Aussies, and they go big. They've got a big heart, and when they ride, they definitely feel it, and it's neat to see that, you know, and it's international, so they feed off each other, and they got to that level where they're starting to feed, and it's steamrolling, and that's good. You know, you have your flat water and ocean, but it's in a good position, it really is. You know, we got a lot of outside sponsorship, you know, with Monster, and I think that's gonna slowly bring in some more people, maybe some phone companies, just some people that want to get into new sports that are actually making a horizon on TV. So it's definitely in a positive way. I'm Eric Malone. Come see me next year in Australia.